in my presentation, I was really trying to make it very clear to understand, because I was taking the listener's approach to my presentation. So today I want you to give some short information. What is a competing communication track in Astana Toastmasters? Okay? Can you make it big?
F5.
All right. Well, in Toastmasters, there are two ways where you can take the path. One of them is a leadership track, and the second one is a communication track. And before I will tell you more about the procedures and the speeches, I want you to give what is communication in general and who is a competent communicator. I think you may be comfortable talking to your friends online, via chat or via telephone, right? And you might feel yourself comfortable. But this is another story when you're speaking to somebody, even one-on-one or to a large audience, and you might feel yourself frightened. And the speaking to any audience can be very intimidating. So it means that you feel very nervous, you will have butterflies in your stomach, and so on, so on, so on, and you will not be able to speak clearly. Okay? A lot of businesses nowadays, they require the people. I mean, one of the most important skills is the communication skills. Who is a competent communicator? It's a person who has one idea in his mind and he can present it clearly and confidently, with a good body language, with a good vocal variety, with a good pause, like this. Okay? So, competent communicator is a person who can master the skills and who can sell his ideas himself to persuade people to do anything what he wants. Okay? And just to tell you that in most schools and universities, there is no such training as communication. So in Toastmasters, you can actually develop yourself in this area. The next one, I just want you to give, what are the rewards? Why? You need to understand, why are you going for communication? Why not for leadership, right? For the communications track, that you will improve your speaking skills. What are the skills, right? We will talk a bit later. And when you complete all the 10 speeches, you will be able to claim for your competing communication award. And that's a kind of a certificate which you can put at home or which you can show to your employer, showing your dedication and commitment to public speaking. I think this is a good asset to have. Okay. But how do I get started? For a new guy, he doesn't know what to do. If you want to start developing in your communication track, you have to find first a mentor. A mentor is a friendly, experienced fellow member like I am, like Bahjan, like Damir, like Samad. They can help you how to start your communication development. Because they were once also a new members and they know what kind of help is valuable to you in the beginning. And the second step is just you need to schedule your first speech, right? So it more deals with the technology and then role distribution chart. Okay. And now shortly I want to ask you, how many fingers on your hands do you have?
11.
10, right? You have 10 fingers, right? You have 10 fingers on your hands. And also usually when you want to when you have a project, how many percent do you have to complete it? 100%. So let's say that each project in Toastmasters is like 1 finger or 10%, and your goal is to complete all 100%. Okay? So the first one is the icebreaker, right? The ice-breaking speech is your initial speech where you need to tell your audience, our members, who you are, what is your background, what is your interest, and what is your ambition. By this way, you can break the ice and you can introduce to the members. But the small tip here, just try to practice to tell to your friends, okay, or your family members, because they will encourage you, okay. And to do that, of course, you will need to have a manual where you need to read some guidelines before, okay. The second is organize your speech. If your speech is well organized, it will lead to the following structure. The introduction that will catch your audience attention. Like you will say, today we have the new president of the United States of America, and this is not Barack Obama. So this will catch the audience attention, right? So everybody will say, how come? Right? Then you will need to give your 2 or 3 main points. What do you want to tell your audience? And the last one is conclusion. You should reinforce what you said at the beginning and you should tell at the end. So thus your audience will have a good structure in their mind and they will easily understand your speech. The next one is get to the point. Get to the point, it means that any speech has some kind of a general purpose and a specific purpose. Okay? So general purpose, I mean, for you to easily understand, this is can be like, if you want to tell something, it means to inform. Another general purpose can be to entertain. You can tell anecdotes, you can tell jokes to your audience and they will entertain. You can persuade, you can say that, for example, your job that you're doing is one of the best, so you have to persuade them. This is the third general purpose. And number 4 is to inspire, like Steve Jobs did. Okay? And the specific one is that what you want your audience to do after your speech. For example, if your speech is about working out, you want your audience to go and apply for a gym membership card. Okay, so this is a specific purpose. Okay. The next one is how to say it. How are you going to use the words? Words are very powerful in speech. They can revoke the emotions. They can revoke any feelings that your audience might have. So words can have they can translate, they can convey the very meaning of your words. They should be like descriptive, clear, and they should add a value to your speech. Okay, this is how, like when you need to prepare your speech, how to say. Okay, the next one is your body speaks. Right, it's very easy speech. I think in terms of you can actually play on the stage. Right, you are like the actor. So you may use any gestures, facial expressions, eye contact, so that you see the audience. The way how you connect to the people is actually the eye contact is one of the most important parts. And non-verbal communication, it enhances your message. Okay? So your people will be more likely to remember what you say when you use gestures, okay? When you use emotions, when you show some actions like this will mean that something furious, strong, right? And when you point to your heart, maybe you want to deliver some love feelings. Okay? The next one is a vocal variety. This is a speech where I want to improve the best when I deliver speeches. Vocal variety, it means that a person should have a very appealing voice, very live voice, so that the audience can feel the way how you want them to feel. So you should take into account the speed of your speech when you want to say something very clearly and something very, in a very fast way, or when you want to make some pauses, when you want your audience to follow each of your words so that they will get your message. Okay? So this is the way. Tone, pitch, but you will learn more. The next one is the researcher topic. I think this is the project where you can become a star. It means that if you're interested about your hobby or your interest, you will need to use a lot of resources. Nowadays it's so easy to go to the web and find a lot of resources about it. For example, if you like photography, right, and you will need to use different sources. What kind of photography there is, how to be a good photographer, what is the good qualities of the photograph. So there in your speech you need to present some vivid facts, testimonials, a lot of examples, visual aids, and thus your audience will have a good opinion about your speech, that it will be quite, like how to say, true like. The next one is get comfortable with visual aids. What is visual aids, right? Although you can have your message well written, but visual aids, they will help your audience to remember what they have seen. 80% of all the information that we learn, we take it from we visualize. So you will need to use the visual aids that you are with ease. Don't use maybe, for example, PowerPoint if you're not comfortable with it. You can use any kind of peripheral device like paper, like flip chart, anything, and it will help you to deliver your message. The next one is persuade with power. You want your audience to believe you. This is a very valuable skill. You want your audience to buy your ideas. You want your audience to follow your dreams. This is where you need to persuade people. And this audience will help you to understand how you can do it, and helps you to become aware when somebody wants you to persuade. You will learn these skills. Okay, you will be more like defensive when somebody will try to sell you something. You will understand this. And the last one, this is the speech where you need to incorporate all 9 projects that you have done throughout this journey. The 10th project will tell you about the thing that your audience will inspire. How you can inspire? You can inspire the people to develop personally. You can inspire people to develop professionally. You can inspire people to develop spiritually. This should be the topic that is closest to your character, that is closest to your feelings, that is closest to your understanding of the whole world. And so, little by little, so there are 10 projects. And when you do 10 projects, I think now I want you to congratulate that you have completed the 10th project description journey. Okay, now you know everything, what you need to do, how you need to do it, and what are the milestones in each of the project. And also, you are now fully eligible to join ETC via delivering the speeches. And I want to finish my speech with that. If a person knows something and he doesn't do, means there is no difference. If he knows and doesn't do, it means that he doesn't know. Okay? So I hope I inspired you to some extent. Yes, questions?
Yes.
Thank you.